This is for educational purposes only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardinez, to use this as an educational material. Global media cultures.
Turning objectives. First, analyze the role of media in globalization by examining how different forms of media contribute cultural exchange, economic integration, and the social change. Second, evaluate the impact of media globalization by identifying its benefits and drawbacks, including cultural homogenization, economic opportunities, and the issue of media control. Third, critically assess the concept of cultural imperialism in media globalization, exploring wherever global media promotes dominance of certain cultures over others, or fosters a more interconnected world. What is global media cultures? Global media cultures refer to the interconnectedness of media systems and their influence on culture worldwide. Global media cultures is a giant worldwide conversation happening through TV, movies, music, internet, and social media. It has ideas, stories, and the trends spread across the planet, influencing how people think, dresses, and live. Imagine it is a mix of different cultures blending together, sometimes creating something new and exciting, and other times case of friction of different values and myths.
Good day, so come and listen and we will explore about the 5 stages of media development in the contemporary world, highlighting their significance and giving real-life examples. So the first stage is the oral communication. Oral communication is the oldest form of media. It involved sharing ideas and information through spoken words. Language played a vital role in exploring different cultures and passing down knowledge. An example of oral communication is the storytelling tradition of the indigenous people. Before the invention of writing, elders passed down myths, legends, and historical events in the younger generation through spoken words. The next stage is scripts. Scripts refer to a set of written symbols used to represent language. This development allowed humans to communicate across larger spaces and over a longer duration. One of the earliest known scripts is the cuneiform script of Mesopotamia, used around 3100 BCE. This wedge-shaped writing on clay tablets recorded trade, laws, and even poetry. The third stage is printing press. The invention of the printing press revolutionized communication. It enabled the mass production and circulation of written materials, making knowledge more accessible to people. For example, the Gutenberg Bible, printed by Johannes Gutenberg in the 1950s, was the first major book produced using a movable type printing press. This invention led to spread of literacy and education. Electronic media. Electronic media refers to communication that uses electronic devices for transmitting and receiving information. This stage includes the telegraph, telephone, radio, film, and television. The first radio broadcast in 1920 by KDKA in Pittsburgh, USA marked the beginning of radio as a powerful tool for news and entertainment. This innovation connected people over long distances. The last stage, or the final stage, digital media. which includes digitized content transmitted over the internet or computer networks. This stage allows instant communication and global connectivity. For example, social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram people to share new opinions and personal updates with the world in real time. So that concludes our discussion on the 5 stages of media development, from oral communication to digital media. Each stage has played a crucial role in shaping the way we communicate today.
How various media drives various forms of global integration. Global integration, the process of increasing the degree of economic and political integration among countries around the world. Global integration can involve the process of product standardization and technology development centralization. Global integration refers to the increasing interconnection and independence of countries and economics across the globe. Both in terms of economics and politics, it involves countries working together more closely, sharing resources, and aligning policies to achieve common goals. This process is driven by various factors such as advancements and communication, transportation, trade liberalization, and the globalization of industries. There are two primary ways global integration. First, economic integration. This occurs when countries reduce trade barriers, align economic policies to facilitate smoother cross-border trade, investment, and cooperation. This might involve free trade agreements, the establishment of common markets like the European Union, or efforts to coordinate financial and monetary policies. As a result, business can access new market, increase their productivity, and achieve economies of scale. And the second one is the political integration. This involves alignment, political policies, and frameworks, often in the forms of international organizations like the United Nations or regional alliance such as the European Union.
Economic globalization is influenced by several key factors that make it easier for businesses, goods, services, and money to move across borders. So first is technology. Technology, the internet communication tools and transportation improvements make global trade and business faster and cheaper. And next is trade policies. Trade policies, free trade agreements, and reduced tariffs encourage businesses to operate in multiple countries. And next is competition. Competition pushes businesses to improve but can also create challenges for workers and small companies in a globalized economy. And next is political decision. Political decision can either promote globalization by opening markets or slow it down through restrictions and regulations. And next is governance. So governance fosters economic globalization by ensuring fair, stable, and predictable businesses environments, while weak governance can create risks and barriers to global trade and investment. And next is international economic integration. So make economies more dependent on each other, increasing global trade investment. Next is socio-cultural convergence, makes global markets more unified, helping businesses operate internationally, but it can also raise concerns about cultural identity loss and the dominance of certain cultures over others. And next is cross-border political influence. Cross-border political influence can either accelerate globalization by fostering cooperation or slow it down through conflicts, trade barriers, and power struggles between nations. And next is financial liberalization. Fuels globalization by making investment and trade easier, but it also increases financial risk and economic instability if not properly regulated.
So dynamic between local and global culture. So first, global culture is focuses on connecting with many countries and connecting globally. For example, Hollywood movies, the Marvel movies, and the Disney, where areas local culture focuses culture in one place with a common interest and connects globally. For example, is the Japanese tea ceremony. Most of the movies of Japanese, they have their own culture, when their presentation having matcha tea, very ritualized manner.
Role of media in globalization.
Media connect people from diverse backgrounds and allowed for the exchange of ideas. Media also plays a key role in globalization, facilitating the exchange of culture information across borders, spread culture and ideas such as television, films, prints, media spread ideas and culture globally. Promotes globalism. Media promotes idea of globalism and how people experience modernity and postmodernity. Shapes public opinion. Media can influence public opinion on issues. Facilitates cultural exchange. Media provides a platform for people to express their views on other cultures and identity prejudices. Promotes global marketing. Media provides a new approach to marketing. Economic growth. Media can support trade and boost economic growth in both development and developing countries. Cultural diversity. Media can lead to both homogenization and diversification of cultures. The media is an integral part of globalization, acting as a conduit for information, cultures, and ideas. It has the power to connect people, promotes understanding, and drive global change. However, it's crucial to be aware of the potential challenges and criticism associated with media globalization and strive for a media landscape that is diverse, inclusive, and responsible.
Pros and cons of media globalization. Media globalization offers advantage like increased cultural exchange, wider access to information, and global awareness of issue, but it also presents drawbacks including potential cultural homogenization and spread of misinformation.
Is there globalization without media? Globalization without media would be challenging and significantly limited. Media plays a crucial role in the globalization process by facilitating communication, spreading information, and connecting people across different cultures and nations. Thus, no globalization is not possible without media, because without media, globalization would have much slower, more localized reach. Is media globalization a form of cultural imperialism? Cultural imperialism is the dominance of one culture over other, often through media and the imposition of that culture's value, practices, and lifestyle on other. Therefore, media globalization can be seen as a form of cultural imperialism depending on the perspective we adopt.
Perspectives on global cultural flows. Global cultural flows refers to the movement of cultural elements such as traditions, media, values, and ideas across the different regions. These flows influence how cultural evolve and interact with each other. Scholars have identified three main perspectives on global cultural flows. So first is on cultural differentialism, cultural hybridizations, and cultural convergence. Each of these perspectives explains the different ways in which cultural responds to globalizations. First is on cultural differentialism. So cultural differentialism suggests that cultures remain distinct and largely unaffected by the globalizations. These perspectives argue that cultural identities are deeply rooted and do not easily change even if we expose external influences. It is also the culture resist and change and maintain their unique Example of this is ang Samuel Huntington's or class of civilizations theory. This theory argues that the cultural differences will continue to cause conflicts rather than create a single global culture. For example, the religions and ideological differences between the civilizations may lead to tensions. The second one is on cultural hybridizations. Cultural hybridization suggests that the global leads to a blending of different cultural elements, creating new and unique cultural forms. Instead of one culture replacing another, culture mix and evolve. It is also the cultures adapt and integrate new influence while keeping a local traditions. Example of this ay ang K-pop or a Korean pop music, which means that the K-pop combines with Western musical style like hip-hop and electronic beats with traditional Korean influence. creating a unique and a global phenomenon embraced worldwide. The last one is cultural convergence. Cultural convergence suggests that the globalization led to the increasing similarity of cultures worldwide. As people interact and share ideas, cultures more alike over time, often influenced by the dominant global cultures such as Westernizations. It is also the world become cultural interconnected, leading to shared experience. Some traditional practices may be replaced by dominant global trends. So one example of this is fast food chains like McDonald's, Starbucks, etc. These products is presence of global brands. Multiple countries shows how consumer habits and lifestyle are becoming similar worldwide.
The dominance of Western media is reflected in a large share of global content, particularly movies, television shows, music, and advertising that comes from Western countries. This influence promotes Western lifestyle and values, often overshadowing local productions and leading to a more homogenized culture that can diminish diverse traditions and identities. Global spread of media allows for the promotion of specific social, political, and economic ideas, often prioritizing them over local values, beliefs, and way of life. This imposition can lead to the erosion of cultural diversity as audiences adopt these dominant ideas, potentially undermining their own traditions and identities. The monopolization of media by a few large corporations, primarily from Western countries, control a significant portion of global media landscape. This concentration of power allows these companies to shape public perceptions, attitudes, and flow of information, often prioritizing their own interests and narratives over diverse viewpoints.